Do you know who I am?
Yes, we've all seen your program. Your episode, Flying Junkyards, was a very objective look at air traffic safety.
It wasn't nearly as edifying as Bimbos of the Sky, was it, Connie?
You think you're funny? You think you're funny?
What about that porker, Willard Scott?
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, and this is episode 683. I'm Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. His favorite part is naked William Sadler doing Tai Chi in his apartment Dunaway.
How did you know? I must have rewound that at least 10 times. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we try hard to not die hard, too, as in the number, not as in the as well. Now blowing up for the holidays like a Hallmark movie about a successful big city business lady named Holly just trying to get home to her parents' house for the holidays so she can finally focus on her neglected love life. Oh, and it's 1990, pre-9/11, and she is married, and the plane she is on is running out of fuel, and there are terrorists her husband has to kill at the airport first before her plane can land, and there's an asshole with history on the plane she has to tase from 50 yards away. So yeah, basically a Hallmark movie, now streaming on Hulu, Disney+. Anywho, John McClane, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. Apparently not. Yippee-ki-yay, I got this, you bunch of untrained, motivated losers. Randy, take that Twinkie out of your mouth and grab a pencil. Also, that's a lot of Twinkies. GIF.
Oh, nice reference to Al there in his brief cameo back in this film.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Also with us, Randy, that human conveyor belt is full of bodies. Jordan.
Aloha, Scott, Brian. Big sigh. We're cops. Again, I know, but we are. And we're the precinct that works at the airport. I'm your captain, and I'm always mad and yelling. Except right now, because I've just been refusing to believe what a cop from out of town is telling me, and it makes me so mad. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm angry again. Look, it's an airport, okay? And if we let crime run rampant here, then all those planes that are in the sky, they can't just fly to a close alternate airport like Washington National or Baltimore or Norfolk or Philadelphia or Richmond or Charlottesville or Newport News Williamsburg International Airport. Wait, hold on. This is 1990. That one might still be called Newport News-Hampton. Still, our inbound traffic can't go anywhere else. If they could, then we could all calm down and stop yelling. So let's get out of here and be completely useless, but only if you follow my 3 rules. Number 1. Always crawl through the vents to get where you're going. Even if you're in a building for the very first time in your life, vents will always take you right to the bad guys. Number 2, never go outside when it's super cold it's a very good reason. You shouldn't. I'm saying you shouldn't go outside until it's time for everyone to go outside. And then I guess it wasn't a problem. Number 3, never believe anything anyone ever says. Unless they're U.S. military. And then you believe them so freaking hard. Oh, I just want to believe what the military man says all night.
Yeah, John Amos levels of belief is what you got there. Also with us, and finally, Brian, how long has Dick been in the shitter anyway, Ibbit?
That's your name, Dick. Let's get right into it. I kind of knew the song I was getting.
Don't shoot.
Nice.
That's amazing, dude. Amazing.
The original version of that, by the way, I was starting to write lyrics because it was going to be based completely on the guy that he met on the flight in the first movie who told him to make fists in the carpet. And I was going to write the song from his perspective of being, then I flew to England. As I'm coming back from England, you do some crap at the Dulles airport and crash my plane.
Oh, that's great. I could not.
It was getting too dark.
I tried really hard to guess what song you were going to use this time. I was so far off. There's no way I was even going to be close.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. There's, so many great options out there.
Yeah.
Someone help me. Isn't there also a movie where a cute woman tells a man to curl his toes into the carpet? Like a Pulp Fiction, and I realize I'm just going right with Bruce Willis again, but Bruce Willis's counterpart in Pulp Fiction, she's like that kind of like cute, got a bit of an accent.
What is her name? Right,
is it there? Am I just inventing this? I just remember.
No, you're ringing a bell too. What is it we're thinking of?
It's not sounding familiar to me, but I believe you.
No, there's like another.
You remember something?
There's some other movie where you're on a plane and the way to deal with it is to curl your toes.
It's not a plane though.
It's not a plane.
Else. And the woman is telling a man in a really cutesy way that she makes like.
Is it Jackie Brown?
Maybe this happened in real life for you, Randy.
Maybe. There you go.
Is it Jackie Brown and what's her name in there doing stuff before? How did that go? She had bare feet the whole time. I remember that.
What are you talking about?
Not Jackie Brown, but the girl in Jackie Brown whose famous parents.
Single white female girl, Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda's in there, and she's doing something with her feet. And I remember her
she's massaging what's his face, De Niro, or not De Niro, but
isn't she telling De Niro how to do something, like how to calm down or find your center?
Maybe that could be it. That could be that.
This is the most interesting exploration.
Which reminds me, that is a gnarly thing, because if she's helping him out early on, and they have that moment at the sink, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
He just in the mall parking lot, he just plugs her twice with a freaking gun. Tap.
Yeah.
Man, that movie's rough. I don't know what that is, Randy, but I think you're onto something. That's what I think.
I just remember it. I'm sorry. Let's go on.
All right, we'll move on.
Die Hard 2.
Let's move on with Die Hard 2. How do we know that? Well, this fake Fletcher told us so, and this is a good one. Check it out.
On this week's Film Sack podcast, Die Hard 2. John McClane attempts to avert disaster as rogue military operatives seize control of Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C. Airports don't have manholes.
It's true, they don't.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
airports do have though. My gosh, this was a crowded. I realize this is like
Holiday.
How a lot of directors like to see their movies. Like they pack as many extras as they possibly can into every space. But gosh, like every shot of this movie, the airplanes themselves seem overcrowded. You know?
Yeah. No, it was packed.
They had a tall order. They were like, let's make it the busiest travel day of the year and one of the busiest airports in the world, and let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, unless you're from Denver, and then you recognize the old airport, don't you, Brian?
Yeah.
Some of it, it's the old Stapleton. It's great seeing that. Like, I was trying to figure out, all right, the timing on it being 1990, right?
Yeah.
Would have been when they were working on the new airport. So I think it was less that they were expanding an area and more just saying, we're gonna kill this terminal and basically let him use that for filming and let him just destroy.
That's what I was curious about, because you always hear they have to shut down traffic at certain parts of LA or New York or whatever to get a scene they want. I wondered how you do that in a busy, airports don't stop really, right?
Yeah, that's at least that's what I would expect was done. There's also the church that they frequently hang out at.
It's out in Mead.
It's in Mead. Yeah, I could be there, and apparently it still looks. They added a whole bunch of stuff like a facade to it and a different entryway, but I could be there and take a photo at that place in 30 minutes.
Oh man, apparently you can control air traffic from there as well if you really need it.
Apparently you can. You can do a lot from there. Yeah. It's
That's wild. I love when stuff's in one of our local grow up places, because it's just like fun to see old stuff and
totally
know what they did with it and everything. But a lot of the interior stuff, like where they were fighting down underneath everything, that was like LA water systems or something. It's like not even close to an airport. It was like I read it and I don't remember what it was. I didn't paste it.
And then they went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to film the landings and the outside stuff.
Right.
I guess you kind of need an airport that's covered in snow a lot, so they went north for that.
It says here
just one scene where McClane climbs the ladder from the service tunnels up to the runway, where he like pushes that grate open then to look out at the plane that's about to land on him. Filmed in 6 different locations: Granada Hills, California, for the tunnel; Los Angeles for the close-ups of Esperanza inside the cockpit; Mojave Desert for the head-on view of the plane in the sky on approach; Alpena, Michigan, exterior shot of the grating door on the runway; San Francisco, rear shot of the plane on approach with runway lights. Sault Ste. Marie in Michigan. The plane just landed, rushing towards the screen. Lake Tahoe, plane rushing towards McClane in the foreground. And finally, Denver, plane rushing towards McClane is seen from behind the front landing gear.
That's wild. That's actually that's actually really impressive, though. You know,
it is because it feels like it's all one shot.
Yeah, that's really seamless. I'm impressed. For the first time in my life, I think I might be impressed with Rennie Harlan's direction. That's nice. That's amazing. Yeah. But it's one of the very first things I read is the airport runways do not have manholes. Additionally, any manhole cover which could be lifted by one person could easily be crushed by a plane. It's like this IMDb trivia went hard on that manhole. It was like
that was the part you had a problem with.
But it feels, when you think about it, it's like, anything that could create any sort of bump or obstacle on the runway is bad. Why would you have, of all places, you definitely don't want a hole in the runway.
Yeah. I mean,
but they got redirected. Is that an actual official runway? I mean, there is so much obscured.
Well, that one
things were operating,
but that's one that what's his name directed to land on a regular runway. They just lied to him about the altitude.
It was the Esperanza flight, so they exactly.
Well, but they had like a bunch of different ways that were coming in. It could have been like
runway
an alternate.
number 7.
Runway number. I love that guy,
Fred Thompson.
Fred Thompson rules, dude. I'd vote for him over.
Totally, me too.
We
could use a man like Fred Thompson.
Yeah, so this movie, let's get to the basics here. Rennie Harlan directed it. So McTiernan out. Although I went down a deep rabbit hole on McTiernan. I don't know if you guys knew this, but John McTiernan, who directed the first one, directed Predator, directed a ton of great movies. One of the great action directors of the 80s and 90s. I didn't know he went to prison. Do you guys know that?
Oh, I didn't know that either.
All right,
for making movies?
No, he got in trouble for wiretapping. It was wiretapping and lying to the FBI about it. And there's a whole story around it.
Wiretapping you think of it, was he like trying to catch his wife cheating? What kind of wiretapping was it? Corporate espionage?
It was something to do with the movie business, but I can't remember the details. But there's a whole thing up on his IMDb page. You can go read about it. You can hear about what time he spent in jail and when and all that.
And the movie in question was Rollerball.
Yeah.
Dude went to prison for Rollerball.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
I mean, everybody should have gone to prison for Rollerball.
Dude, we should go to prison for watching it, honestly. But he hasn't made. I mean, he's done. He's out. That's like why you don't ever hear about him making movies anymore. Is because that kind of ended it back in 2013 or so is when he went to jail. But anyway, wild ride. If you guys are, it's a little side quest at home. Go read about John McTiernan's weirdness toward the end of his career. But anyway, so you got Rennie Harlan picking up the pieces here, making what is arguably, let's talk about it now, arguably more of a Christmas time movie than the first movie.
Yeah. Okay. So Christmas time. Let's talk about defining a Christmas movie. In our pre-show, we did start to talk about this, and Randy did bring up a Christmas movie is it's in the eye of the beholder, really.
Very much.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would argue that Die Hard, here's my reasoning for why I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie and Die Hard 2 is not. Christmas in the first movie is important to the plot. It's why everybody is in Nakatomi Plaza and why the rest of the building is empty. It is why McClane is able to use tape to stick a gun to his back. In this movie, and everything also could have happened any other time that people were flying.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get. Like, the first movie has Christmas itself as a plot point. Like, you're trying to get to Christmas, basically. Mm-hmm. The second movie, it's really all about action. This movie is like the whole point of the plot is that most cops are useless, and in times of high stress, you need this one super cop who takes care of everything. And so it's like action sequence, and with a little bit of yelling in between.
Yeah, they waste no time either. They get right to it, right? Like the first movie has like this ease into it thing. You got all that time in the limo. You got him on the plane. You got him sort of chilling at the place. Like the shit doesn't hit the fan for a while in the first movie. This movie, like immediately.
It doesn't waste any time. He's instantly getting towed. There's instant conflict. You instantly feel like you've been tossed into a pressure cooker because it is like one of the busiest travel times of the year. That's what escalates the tension.
Mm-hmm.
But is it important to the movie? I still feel like I still felt Christmas vibes though. I
mean, it's got Christmas vibes,
Sure.
and it's
Right.
because it's such a busy airport that extra mayhem is caused. But there's nothing that says, "Oh, it's Christmas. That's why we need to get Esperanza exported back to the U.S." Or that's why.
I hate that you're right. He's right though. He's right. Go ahead, Dunaway. But I think Ibbott's convinced me. There's no plot usage of.
Well, but the thing is, okay, so yesterday I watched 2 movies. And around my house, everybody's going, let's watch Christmas movies 24/7. We got to do it. It's only a couple of days away. And I was watching a horror movie when everybody came in. They're like, oh, horror movie. Come on. But then I turned on Die Hard 2 and I low key got away with it because there was Christmas music playing. There was constantly Christmas imagery on the screen. So it's got vibes.
It's definitely got vibes. And it's, I'm not going to argue the fact that, it's meant to be 1 year later for Nakatomi Plaza, so it has to be at Christmas time. And isn't it like Nakatomi Plaza took place on Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
horrible company, by the way, having a Christmas party for your employees on Christmas Eve.
Terrible. Yeah, I agree.
But this one takes place actually on Christmas Day, right? Is that the deal?
No, I thought this was the 23rd.
23rd. Shit. Is it? Okay. I didn't pay attention to that. I just knew it was like in the thick of it and everybody was trying to get home or wherever they got to go.
In the thick of it.
In the thick of it. So the first of all, one of our primary characters here, her name is Holly. I instantly started. I couldn't get out of the rut when I started seeing it. I'm like, oh shit, this is a freaking Hallmark movie of business.
So Dumb and Dumber is a
if only it was Nick McClane, right? Nick and Holly would be the perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saint
or if his name was Chris.
Yeah,
Chris. That'd be good too.
That'd be perfect.
So, I just what really sticks out for me about this movie as a difference from the first one is everything. They try to amp up everything. It's not just more action, and it really is more action, but also there are multiple bad guys in multiple places with multiple motivations. So not only do you have William Sadler trying to get Franco Nero to escape into the States or whatever, but you also have John Amos, who's a bad guy. It kind of has a different perspective. Dennis Franz is absolutely presented as a bad guy, and he has a very different perspective. And of course, William Atherton is the completely separate bad guy on the plane, like as if you didn't have enough conflict. We have to like make the conflict around Bonnie Bedelia, or I don't know. I don't know what.
In the first movie, he was remote bad guy too. He only gets to Nakatomi at the very end.
He makes things worse
remotely.
Remotely makes it worse. You're right. He sucks, man. That guy freaking sucks.
A poor guy. In the 80s, like Real
you need
Genius,
somebody who was dickless. I mean, come on.
Ghostbusters. I just this guy walking around the 80s must have been hated by people who couldn't separate the actor from the character.
He is one of the most. He seems like one of the most difficult people to separate, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like it just seems like if you're around him, you're like, dude, no freaking, you're as bad as that guy in Die Hard or whatever.
Happy Gilmore too, or am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of a different guy for Happy Gilmore.
No, that's what's his name? He was in Star Trek.
Little Shits for Breakfast.
Yeah, guy. Yeah, him.
Yes,
that's
the right guy.
I can't think of his name, but yeah, those two.
Same vibe, different guy, but same.
Very
vibe.
easy to mix those guys up for sure. Anyway, it's an interesting approach because this thing made way more money than the first one, way more tickets sold. I mean, obviously the first one was a little bit of a surprise hit, and then this one just exploded.
It had to cost more.
It definitely did.
I didn't look up the numbers on it, but it had to cost more.
What's crazy is a huge part of the cost, after digging around a little bit, was the snow they had to create because Denver was unseasonably snowless that winter. So they had like nothing going on, so they had to do a ton of snow creation.
It's like the opposite of Jaws 2, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having people suck on ice cubes to keep from making steam, it's the opposite. We need to make some snow here.
This is also that one that's famous for having the funny dubs when they tried to port it to TV. So one of them was, here it is, the most noteworthy was McClane's famous line, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother effer," was dubbed into "Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon." fantastic.
Mr. Falcon.
It's fan-freaking-tastic. I know. I love it so much.
Oh
I need
man,
a
just
shirt.
leave it. Just cut away from it. It's implied that he's saying it. Just cut off at the F and let the plane explode.
Yeah.
While you're talking about different types, I had shot it to did I just shoot you, Scott? I can't remember. But last night I started the movie up and I was like, oh, what the hell is this shit with the
the widescreen thing? Yeah.
The stretched aspect ratio of the 20th century. I was like, what the crap is this? And I was worried about the rest of the movie, so I instantly found complex ways to watch it instead. And my other way, like I told Scott, it felt like cheating because it was so much better than that Disney Hulu version.
So what did they do? Because I didn't notice in the actual running time. I did notice it in the logo, but the rest of the movie seemed fine. Maybe I just don't know what I'm looking at.
I saw a couple of I kind of scrubbed through it, and it seemed like a couple of scenes seemed a little bit weird. I meant to go back and do a deep dive. Was 35 millimeter with anthropomorphic. I don't know what they had done, but it was the conversion looked like you used to do, where you would project film onto onto something and you record it to VCR. It looked like that bad to me. That's how bad it was.
Oh, weird. Maybe there's we got the short end of that stick. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it, but I probably would have noticed it had I been able to compare the two.
Yeah.
There was a 70 millimeter version of this movie. They did show it in certain theaters. And so it had the sides cut off a little bit, Like it's not a lot when you go from 2.4 to 1 to 2.2 to 1. Like most people don't even notice. Yeah, but we definitely. I felt like the Hulu transfer was real good. I may be a part of your settings. Like there may be a thing where you have to go tell Hulu to give you the 4K stream.
Interesting. I'm not sure. I tried it on two different devices. One was a PC and one was my 4K TV. So I just
But you got
as far as I went.
But you got a better transfer out of somebody's Plex version.
Oh, absolutely. Complex ways were had, and it was way better.
Oh, wow.
Anybody feel like this movie was just a little bit long?
Yeah.
Over a little over 2 hours, barely.
Like you mean it just felt long to you?
Yeah, it felt a little long. There's a moment where I'm like, oh, they didn't want to cut. They didn't want to cut the worst action sequence so they just left it all in.
I mean, the worst one. Yeah. Okay, can we take a quick vote? Because I think the thing that took me out of the theater, I remember this back in the day in the 90s. I remember going, all right, that ejection scene where he ejects out of the flames. That's pretty rough, dude.
It is so green screen horrible and physics horrible. Like he goes straight up. All right, okay, I can get that, and it times to where as he approaches the cameras, but then he veers off to the side like
he's controlling it, like he's got he's got Mario air control or something.
So
and also those grenades had the longest timers I've ever seen. They went forever.
I love that.
Hated
that. I was like, oh, I've seen Die Hard 2 a million times. Apparently, I've only seen it like once. And it must have been a very long time ago. But the one thing I do remember is that ejection seat. So just whether or not it is shit or not, it was definitely memorable. And because I kept thinking, oh yeah, Die Hard 2. All week I was saying this myself. Oh, I gotta watch Die Hard 2. Die Hard on a plane. And when I started watching, I'm like, it's Die Hard in an airport. It's not Die Hard on a plane.
Yeah, it's true. It is. You're right. Exactly. It is
like,
Die Hard on a plane. Yeah.
Why do we all say that? Everybody I know says
Holly on a plane.
Yeah, Holly on a plane. She's dying hard on the plane. That's fine. But everyone always says
Holly on a plane.
Everyone always says Die Hard on a plane, and they're wrong. That's not what it is.
Die Hard on
everyone. I've actually never heard.
I hear it all the time.
I heard Die Hard on a plane
all the time. In fact, even when we announced this, I got emails saying, "Hey, I'm so excited you guys are doing Die Hard on a plane." I'm like,
and that's Air Force One. And
exactly, it is. You're right. It is.
That's closer to Die Hard on a plane. You're right. Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm curious. Does anybody have a favorite trope, other movie that's just a Die Hard in a something?
Oh, there's so many.
Die Hard on a bus is good.
Die Hard on a bus.
Do you love Speed?
Speed's great. Yeah. Speed's great. Speed.
I don't know if it's my favorite. It's the first one that comes to mind, though.
It's up there for me. I really like Speed.
Yeah.
I consider Die Hard to be, basically McClane just having luck and able to do everything and able to be everywhere. And so when I started thinking about it, that's what I consider Die Hard. It's like it's one man,
right?
Exactly, right. Like Under Siege, Die Hard on a ship is a good example, right? One guy.
Yeah. So like we sacked Cliffhanger, and that's Die Hard on a mountain.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
But he's actually good at it. Why is this? Somebody really like New York cops.
You know what it is. I honestly, Brian, that's a great point, because I think that the reason McClane stands out is there's a couple things going on. His performance and who Bruce Willis is adds a lot to this, but mostly what it is it's a guy who's just trying to do the right thing, barely makes it out, runs through glass, just has enough motivation because his wife's in there still, even though they're estranged. Like, there's just this, like, we could be him in the right. We could do this if we had to vibe about it.
I'm surrounded by idiots. Bureaucracy. I'm fighting the bureaucracy at the same time as fighting the bad guys.
There's something about that.
People who are saying I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, as well as the bad guys at the same time.
Yeah, but then when you do like Under Siege, you're like, well, it's not quite the same. Or if you do,
executive decision,
kind of. But it's again, they're all pulling from the template. They're all pulling from the template, no doubt. In fact, this week, this is what's crazy. We're watching Die Hard 2, Die Hard in an airport. There's literally a brand new movie on Netflix that is Die Hard in an airport that has got that Taron Egerton kid, the younger Egerton brother, and Justin Bateman is the psycho. And he's trying to blow up the airport, and Taron Egerton's just like this lowly security guard, and he's got to figure out how to save everybody. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same template. And I'm not even saying this is bad. I think McTiernan and those writers gave us maybe the ultimate template that you can iterate on until all humans die. They can keep making these and just color it a little different, make it a little bit different each time, and bam, we're into it. I think that it's just a sellable package. It's really good.
So I just want to share with you my favorite knockoff, and that is Hard Rain, because it's Die Hard in a Storm, and Christian Slater is my John McClane. I just feel like
that's pretty good, because he's fighting outside of his weight class, and he's able to stick with it. Because like in this one, William Sadler is like obviously really good at martial arts naked. How is he with clothes on? I don't know. Not as good, because he's getting his ass kicked by Bruce Willis.
And he can quick draw a TV remote like nobody's business.
Can we please find out if what grossed out Scott the most is what Randy thought?
Well, let's hear it. What do you got?
There was something that bugged the hell out of me at the beginning of this movie, and it's not exactly that William Sadler's naked. Well, I'm like, everybody has a naked body.
No, but in high def, you can see
you can really smell him. You can really smell him
the tip of his peen.
He's worked up a big sweat. And I'm just curious, Scott, did you feel something when he goes from doing hot yoga to immediately putting on his clothes?
Well, you're very
showering.
Yeah, you're very close. It's not. They don't do enough of an implication that he went and showered. So you're very close. So I'll just tell you guys, because you're so close.
Gross.
What grossed me out was he's in there fighting. This is like the first 4 minutes of the movie or something.
Right.
He's in there fighting the air, doing Tai Chi stuff, listening to the news. I mean, who doesn't do that? And then at one point he kicks his leg up real high, and my brain's like, I bet we're gonna get some reverse cheeseburger here, like Ibbott always calls it. And I look and I go, nope, it's all tied up, like taped up. What grosses me out is somebody had to, maybe it was just him, but somebody had to tape his junk, and I don't like that. That's all.
He did it himself. I got
funny.
this.
It's more what you don't see that gross Scott out the most.
Yeah, that's what grossed me out, because I knew that, yes, he's naked, but he's not, it's movies.
He's naked.
People do stuff, whatever. It's all fakery. But at the end of the day, I was just like, nobody wants to tape that dude's junk to anything. That's William Sadler, dude. He's a weirdo. Don't be.
But he did so good. I thought he worked.
I love him, dude. Don't get me wrong.
So hard to get ready for this film.
I'd watch William Sadler eat a bowl of cereal. I love him.
Yeah.
So good. not a complaint. He's a great villain.
I was thinking again, it was a thing that you don't see in the movie, but when the Bruce Willis and the dude is like, "I'm going to kick your ass" because he's out of bullets, and Bruce Willis is trying to get the gun. And he triggers the conveyor belt, the moving walkway.
Yeah.
And he gets the gun, shoots the guy who falls down. But he's still pinned. Bruce Willis is still pinned with his, with his head right up against where the people come off the moving walkway.
Yep.
Before his buddy comes and lifts up the thing to get him out of there, that dead guy's feet are just going boom, 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 right to Bruce Willis's face.
Yeah, that's something to watch, man.
Good.
I don't know. Like here's what's weird is I forgot how young and like ripped he was because I just picture him in the Shawshank a couple years later where he's just kind of scraggly and in prison or whatever. Yeah. And I think of him in the Mist we saw. I guess he's in all those Darabont movies. But I really really like him. I find him compelling. He was Death and
Bill and Ted's
Bogus Journey. Yeah.
Yep.
Just a great, interesting, crazy, cool kind of character actor. But I forgot how little he actually kind of does here. Like I thought it was a little bit more.
Too many people in this movie. This is not a major complaint. I just wanted more from a lot, and I didn't get it. The whole movie, like this movie gives so much time to Dennis Franz and Fred Thompson and so on, and I don't get anything from John Leguizamo and Mark Boone Jr. and freaking Terminator.
Yeah, the T-1000.
Yeah, I was so disappointed when he.
That's Robert Patrick for sure.
Well, he's a year and a half. He's a year and a half away from his stardom, which is Terminator.
Yeah.
So it's not. He was just a small actor.
I watched an interview with him sometime recently. I don't know if it's an old interview or what. He was talking about how absolutely desperate and ready to leave Hollywood he was when he got that role for T2. So probably after this.
This might have been it for him.
Well, that sucked. Yep.
Liev Schreiber was in this. He was in the background for when McClane first bumps into Colonel Stewart and they kind of have an exchange in the airport. He's standing there with like really long hair, but that's Liev Schreiber back there.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Kind of an extra, not even really a credit.
Not to roll back to William Sadler too quickly, but man, him and Demon Knight. God, I just love that. Billy Zane, just such a great movie.
Wait, Billy Zane, Demon Knight. What's that? I don't know what that is.
Demon Knight, Tales from the Crypt. Demon Knight. Oh,
that's
God,
where
it's so freaking good.
Right. It was the Tales from the Crypt thing.
Demon
Knight. Yeah, it's so good. Okay. Oh my God, it's such a good movie.
All right. I mean, hey, that sounds like something we should put on our stuff.
Put on our stuff. It's like, right after you do your naked Tai Chi hot yoga, you should.
Is it Demon Knight with a K? K-N?
Yeah, I think it's a K. I think that's right.
Oh, you're right. There it is. Wow. Sadler, Jada Pinkett Smith, Billy Zane.
Oh, yeah.
It's a standalone film, like a single.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah.
Probably adapted from a
Crypt Keeper story.
Short. Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Dick Miller makes a return. Sweet.
Dick Miller. That's
John Shuck, Thomas Hayden Church. Look at this cast. Yeah, that's great. I'd watch this.
So good. It's so good. Now, one thing that I thought was, I don't think I've ever seen in any movie before or after a team of people in a hotel and then doing the walk where they all like meet up.
Like they're sitting there with their ears pressed to the door, like, ooh, I just heard Sadler's door open. That means I need to wait 4 seconds, and then I come out, and I'm right in the middle of where you're.
Yeah, it's because you don't want to be like that guy and have a gun next to your head, and have him say next time there'll be a bullet in the chamber. You have to synchronize your swimming, synchronize your walking.
Hotel checkout.
Sadler be like, nope, everybody back to your rooms. We're
doing it over. We've rehearsed this. Get it right. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
Take my clothes off, do a little more yoga, then we're starting it over.
But it does, I used to, in my head, I used to think this came after The Rock. It didn't. It's like 4 years before The Rock. The Rock is very similar. Here's a colonel gone rogue, That's a different, he has different motivations and reasonings when Ed Harris does it. But it's still that kind of like, well, he's now a traitor. He was a massively respected general in some big position, and now he's going to do this other shit. For some reason, in this case, he's just trying to get Django out of some fake country.
I didn't understand why Esperanza. I didn't understand that at all.
And that's the Django guy, right? The original Django.
Django.
Yeah.
I think I hate to say this, but to make the movie more simple and easy to follow and to give more lines to more people, I think I dropped the Fred Thompson character because he's not very realistic. An airport control tower doesn't have like 100 people with a super manager in there and that kind of thing. And it just it was just a little tiny bit too much. Like I felt like Dennis Franz, as much as I hated the character, he did a great job of making me hate him.
Yeah,
he's
very good at that. Yeah,
I don't know what Fred Thompson really had to do in this movie.
It was kind of like the in between, but you definitely could have found another player out there to fill that role, right? You definitely could.
Yeah, I like Fred Thompson though a lot. I think he adds gravity to everything he's in. So for me, it helps. But yeah,
he couldn't stop saying things in threes though, and it was starting to get on my nerves.
Oh,
It's like,
I actually wrote down why is script like poetry?
right?
Like seriously, and it was right after he spoke. And I started to think like I'm going to write a poem based on just his words.
Yeah, you got to. It's so weird because every time he spoke, it was like the threes. Here comes the threes.
Yeah,
yep, it was fun.
Yeah, so let's go back to Franz for a second. This is his the meat in his career sandwich. He's just finished Hill Street Blues, and he's on his way to NYPD Blue, and that would be kind of his last big hurrah in terms of Emmys and all that. So this is like right dead in between it. And it is kind of a weird combination of those two characters of Sipowicz and then the guy he was in, the beat cop he was in the other one. And man, I miss that guy's performances. It's solely him. No one does it like he does. As annoying as he is and as a bitch freaking yell bag that he is, he's so good at being that you don't want to hire anybody else for a guy like that. Yeah. That's who you hire.
Like the casting of his brother too. Oh, what's his face?
Oh.
He's been
I was trying to look for that guy. Like I know I've seen him in so many million things.
He's been in everything. That was brilliant because they don't necessarily look alike, but they got this kind of vibe that still.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you where I know him from. He's the naked dude in that Seinfeld episode on the train when Jerry falls asleep, and then he wakes up on his way to Coney Island, and the guy across from him, who was in a suit before he fell asleep, is now butt naked with a newspaper.
Is Robert Costanzo? That's the guy. That's the actor's name.
The actor's name, yeah.
Costanzo.
He's in
Robert
tons
Costanzo.
of shit. The guy's in tons of shit. But that particular role, I'll never forget because he was freaking buck naked on TV.
Yeah.
He might be the worst IMDb photo of the week. By the way,
practical, not a photo because it's like just half of his head. It's pretty rough.
It's just half of his head, poorly lit.
Yeah.
Like,
where is this? I don't see it.
Oh wait, you got to go to the plus. There's so many people in this movie, like Randy said. It's like you got to go to the deep in the credits.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's way down here. Where is he? Well, he's in tons of shit. We've seen him a billion times. Lots of TV.
Total Recall, Saturday Night Fever, City
he's done this
Slickers.
a few times.
Oh, there he is.
He's on the Film Sack.
Yeah, he's still around. That's great.
Yeah.
He in particular, I think I remember him most from it's that Seinfeld episode as I mentioned, but what's that other movie? Anyway, he's great. And you know what? If you're going to get a guy to be Dennis Franz's brother in a movie, perfect.
He nailed it.
Perfect. It's
I like that little callback. I thought it was fun because at first I thought it was him whenever he went into his office. At first, I was like, oh no, I was like, no, it's not him. That's Dennis Franz. And I was like, oh, cool.
And one of those Arkham games, he's Officer Bullock. That's who he played in those Arkham games. He's great as a voice actor. He's in Mafia 2. He's in all kinds of games too. That guy's great.
Yeah.
We like him.
Very recognizable voice for that sort of thing.
Can I have a trope alert for Reginald Vell Johnson?
Always. I don't know why I did it twice.
This is pre-internet. I'm the information desk. How can I help you?
Yeah.
The pre-internet information desk guy in these movies is so sad, and so he's also the trope of demoted to extra. Like he was an integral part of the first movie. And now he's just going to provide. He's going to receive super high resolution faxes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, faxes that are clear enough to do a fingerprint. No, it's like, did you just send me a fax that's got 5 black circles on it?
Yep.
Yeah,
that shit don't work.
Solid smudges.
Yeah,
whatever, Randy. You should wake up and smell the 90s.
Yeah,
come on
now. Hey,
just the facts, ma'am.
How come every one of these people we're talking about are now in a bunch of Hallmark Christmas movies, including him? What's going on there?
That's where you go. I told you this is where they got it started. This is where they got the bug.
This is
where they got the bug, and they couldn't help it.
They couldn't help it. They were like, you know what? Die Hard 2 has inspired us all. The one guy that I always think I know from other things and that he's still younger is Don Harvey. He's one of the henchmen, and he's just kind of that goober face looking goobery guy. I don't even know what to call him. I don't know what to say about the guy, but he was also in a Seinfeld episode, and I think that's why I remember him all the time. But he's old as dirt now. He's born in like 59 or something. Not old as dirt. I mean, dirt's pretty old. But it was good to see him. I like him. He's good. You know?
I loved Tom Bauer's character, Marvin. Was there a Marvin equivalent in the first one? Because I love the janitor
really.
Yes.
who has all the maps.
Yes, it's the guy who rides it's the dude that drives the limo. That's his role. He's like the little
Argyle. Argyle is his.
That's right.
He's the
But
analog.
Marvin,
Even right down to driving him and Holly away at the very end. That's the point.
Yes. In fact, that part set it all home for me because up till that point, I was like, well, there's differences. He's in there the whole time. He's, more integral. Like, whereas the other dude was out in the car the whole time, rocking out and calling babes or whatever. So he had a little bit more of a role. But when he drove him away, I went, it's Argyle 2.0.
There's our parallel. Yeah.
Good call.
I thought there'd be more hackery because they did a lot of that in the first one. So I thought there'd be more like computer experts in that, but it was just like general equipment setting up and tapping.
And he was much more. Was he more anti-tech this time around? Because he's like he was very mad about all the tech this time. I don't remember him really talking about tech in the first one.
Who, Willis?
This time around, he was
Willis's character? Yeah. Oh, McClane? Yeah, he complains a lot. He seems like the kind of guy that if there was a real John McClane and if you asked him today, he'd be like, smartphones are freaking
Yeah. He hates it. He hates everything and he's tough as nails is basically the idea. He's like everybody else knows martial arts and way better fighting skills, but just his ability to pivot and think quickly, he's able to, bust a guy in the head on with a a golf club or something.
All that. If you hit me as hard as you can with the largest golf club, all it's going to do is upset me.
Yeah,
there's got to be a wood.
I don't
wood
know.
might hurt.
You do a
wood would hurt
right to the forehead.
If you manage to get the head of that club into my nutsack or something, but like the way this fighting was portrayed, these guys are just flailing. I'm like, well, what are you doing touching me with golf clubs? I'm gonna kick your ass. What bugged me about that entire thing is not that he is amazing at crawling through vents. I love that he's amazing at crawling through vents. What bugged me is that the janitor ratted him out. Like the janitor. We need to have some, some sympathy,
some
here.
solidarity. Exactly. That guy gets shit on all the time. Do not cave to the man. You're one of us. That's how I'd see it as well. I like that. By the way, this is great. The general from Val Verde, our original Django guy actor.
Yeah.
Also
he was do it all kind of guy.
I didn't realize he guested on. He was a guest star, or I don't know what that means, or a cameo on the new Django. I didn't know that. Anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, they had. I guess
no one knew it
because Tarantino loved that shit. He probably was like, "You got to come on, Sam. You got to come on. There's feet. Come see the feet." Anyway, it was that guy.
I heard one. There's so much feet.
The same fictitious country, Valverde. Is the same exact Latin American country used in Commando 1985.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Must have been a nod, right?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says they used it. And I like it too. I thought that was really great. And I do like fake countries in movies. I'm a big fan. Like, bring it on. It doesn't always need to be El Salvador or some other place that's going to feel bad that you used them in your movie. Like, instead of saying, oh, this terrorist is from Afghanistan, say, oh, this terrorist is from Uzbekistan or some other fake name.
Sokovia.
Yeah.
This movie did a really good job of just immediately just grabbing you by the scruff and just shaking you about and going, don't think about nothing.
Yep.
We're having a lot of fun.
Yep. It's a good time. Don't pay attention.
Yeah, because it's instantly I'm like, no way in hell do you have terrorists hijack an airport and and this is all that happens. I mean, it's going to be on the news immediately. I mean, there's no way even during the 90s that you wouldn't have a full military force. Right. I know you could say, well, they were manipulating it and they were making I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. You don't have 10, 12 airplanes and circling around that they can't land. Even during the 90s, you didn't have that.
Did you know that this movie came out the exact same year as one of those knockoff movies? It was called Hard to Die. That's a thing.
Hard to Die. I love that.
That's great.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Was it also in an airport?
It was. Let's see. Hard to Die. It was.
It doesn't matter.
I want to know though if they tried to do it. It's not a good day to die hard. Here it is. Hard to Die, 1990, same year. Here we go. With nobody you know. While doing inventory for a lingerie outfit in a high-rise office building, 5 attractive women are terrorized by a series of bizarre killings. The suspect is a strange janitor. There is a janitor Yeah, that's all there is. It's
But that's great. That's that's like one. That's perfect.
Die Hard, hard to die.
Does the janitor have a nondescript European accent?
No. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe they went all in on that. I don't know. It's hard to say. So, okay, can we do a little ranking? We got Die Hard 2, then we have Die Hard with a Vengeance, then we have another 10 years before we get another one. I forgot that one.
Right.
But McTiernan comes back for Vengeance. Live Free or Die Hard. McTiernan comes back for Die Hard with a Vengeance, which was 95. That's the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Jeremy Irons is supposed to be the brother of Hans Gruber.
Yeah, Hans Gruber's brother. Yeah.
I think that one's pretty good.
It is.
But I don't know where to rank these. I think I kind of just go 1, 2, 3, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think I'm going to go 1, 3, 2.
Yeah. Really? I mean, I need to see
all
3.
kind of mixed around a little bit. Go ahead.
I go 1, 4, 2, then 3.
4. Really?
Oh.
Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard it was like a big event for me. And like going with friends to the movies to see Live Free or Die Hard, and it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
There are things in 4 and 5 that I could not tell you which of those 2 movies it's in. I think I need to watch both again because I've only seen each of those once, and I've seen the first 3, but hundreds.
For what it's worth, 4 is 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. 5 is 15%.
Wow, it's Craven the Hunter levels right there.
Yeah. 5's some bullshit. But I remember this is the first time I ever saw Timothy Olyphant in anything. He played the bad guy. Speaking of hackers, that movie was all about hacking. And you had Justin Long, Cliff Curtis, love him. Maggie Q's great.
Was Kevin Smith in that one too?
Yes, he was like the Warlock they call right? Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Warlock. He was like the hacker guy, underground hacker guy in the sewer or whatever.
I think we just missed, like the first 3 movies had Bruce Willis and a black sidekick.
Yep.
And we needed the 4th and 5th movies.
I may rank Die Hard with a Vengeance above Die Hard 2, but that's also probably just because I just saw Die Hard 2, and like there's some things about it that haven't held up. It's kind of it's aging.
Vengeance is that one. Wait, Vengeance is the 95 one? Oh, right.
Right,
okay.
with Jeremy Irons. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, I remember that was a little hard to swallow, the Jeremy Irons part, but I remember being stoked that McTiernan is back. It's like, yeah, original guy, OG guy. But it turns out this is one of those film series very hard to capture that original's impact. It's such a classic. It is paced so well. It is so perfectly done that everything that comes after it is fine, with some exceptions. And all the other people that copy it are fine. It's just that thing is just the best. It's just the best there is.
I like the concept of Vengeance with the killer, the main Jeremy Irons giving them like clues. It's almost like an escape room or scavenger hunt. Yeah. But the way they come across the answers is it looks like, wait a minute. Yeah, no. If it's the thing, the sandwich is a pizza, then that means this has to be this, and the 4th letter is A. It's so it feels nonsensical the way they get to their answers, but it's like you couldn't really have them take the actual amount of time it would take to do one of those puzzles. But but I like the concept of that sort of thing because, of course, I like puzzles and
fits you perfectly. Exactly. Yeah.
I think they were a little too concerned in this second one with what people thought about them basically rehashing the first story, because
the trivia is full of that, of people making this movie being concerned about how audiences were going to react to different stuff.
Yeah, I actually expected it because it's been a while since I've seen it, and I thought there was more of that. I thought there was more reference, like him going, "Oh, here I go again." And there's a few of those things. Like
there's 2 or 3.
It's pretty
right?
small
it's like,
though.
Why does this keep happening to us?
Yeah, and it's such a different attack that it changes the whole scenario pretty drastically. Like the building's kind of intimate in comparison to this.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and a part of that is that you keep jumping back and forth from a plane to the airport to a church nearby, and it doesn't feel as Die Hardy. I don't know. Like if does that make sense? There's this thing about Die Hard, the first movie, where you feel very confined. You're closed in. You only have so far to go, and this movie jumps around. I read that Rennie Harlan and the Fox executives had a big argument over the big plane crash.
Oh,
because he wanted the terrorists to be winning, and to do something really, really bad.
Yeah.
And the Fox execs were like, hey, you don't want to show a plane full of people being killed. Like, the audience will check out. And so for a long time, that was just going to be an empty cargo plane.
Oh, and like a warning, like if you want this to be the next one to be real people, I could see how they may want to do that. Well, but you know what? Doing it the way they did it was smart because it had stakes now. Like I didn't feel any stakes until that happened.
And they were very careful to make sure that that this is something that would have happened without McClane's involvement. Like it is basically Sadler saying, all right, you want a demonstration? You want to see the full force of my Death Star? I'm going to show you right now.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. That's important. I think that's an important thing that they did.
It's important because you lose if the hero somehow causes that. That's a big, big gaffe for a hero, and then be able to say
that's a part 3 dealing with what I did in part 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? I don't want. Hey, Rennie Harlan, if you're listening, this does not excuse Cutthroat Island, but I agree with some of these decisions. Okay,
totally,
because that movie sucked.
Is this, by the way, we know. I remember Bonnie Bedelia is not in 3, and I guess it's just decided that they
divorced, right?
They divorced for that one, and she's just did Bonnie Bedelia just say, "Yeah, I'm done making these Die Hard movies, thanks."
Yeah, I'd be curious about that.
Not a lot of range for her, or what she gets to do in the performance. It's pretty much just
sitting in that chair.
I gotta do with the asshole.
It's damsel in distress wherever it is.
Yeah, she got more love than Reginald Vell Johnson, but still, you can't get
That's true.
You can't get Al Powell and everything, I suppose. But
you're the only person I know who can look at fingerprints. Can you look at these things?
Did anyone feel like Sheila McCarthy was shourehorned into the movie so that it wasn't 100% men?
The reporter, 100%.
The reporter, why?
The bird lady.
Yeah, she bugged me.
Yeah.
By the way,
she looks like a bird.
Yeah.
If you're Canadian, I want to know if you know Sheila McCarthy, because like I didn't know her at all, and she's apparently like one of the most award-winning Canadian actors.
Really?
She's been on like every Canadian series for decades.
I felt like her acting in this was horrible.
Yeah, you know what? That's interesting. I would have thought there would have been more crossover with somebody like that. Canadian actors tend to come down here a lot, and we go up there, and it's not usually easy to tell that they're. It's one thing to say, "Oh, this is a French actor no one's heard of," but I feel like we should have heard of who she was. But she does look like a bird. That's her now. She's a bird.
Yeah, that's her in that's in
we've seen
Umbrella
her before.
Academy.
Have we seen her in something? What else have we seen her in?
Oh yeah, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, she in that?
Yeah, Judith. She was up in the library, right, with everybody else.
Oh,
yep.
All right. Well, she was probably better in that. I hated her in this.
The only other thing she's been in on Film Sack.
Right.
Whereas Bruce Willis, man, this is our 12th Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
On Film Sack.
Woo! Yeah, that's good. We got more to do with him. He ain't over.
Yeah, it makes me sad though right now.
I know.
And let me just
me too.
While I'm on that, let's just go to the big winner. Joel Silver, the producer of this and many movies, is making his 26th appearance as a producer on Film Sack.
On a Film Sack. Wow.
No,
Winner.
not to be confused with Ron Silver, who is a purple goo ball now. So don't forget. Not the same guy. I don't know if they're related. I never looked that up. Probably not. Well, anyway, let's see. I got one other piece of trivia I wanted to share here, and it was this. I already told you about how it did, box office wise, did really well, but I didn't tell you by how much. It doubled the original Die Hard's gross. Wow. That's crazy.
Right.
Crazy. But anyway, here's the other one. Due to the lower, you guys kind of already said it, but this is the technical reason. Due to the lower scan resolution of fax machines of the day, the faxed fingerprints that McClane sends Powell would have been useless, and that is true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was a church secretary, and they got a fax machine around this time, and there was a fax net among church secretaries. In like the all around North America.
Yeah.
And they had a little call sheet, like they had a list of numbers of each other. Yeah. And they would fax each other memes, and like they were
little comic strip clippings.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how they did it. Here's what's great. The lady who did it for John McClane didn't even have the number, but she somehow plugged it all in and sent it to Al Powell. That's pretty nice. She just went beep boop beep boop beep and sent it off, and he didn't.
555-131 some.
He didn't even give her a number. She just dialed it and somehow intuited that this needed to go to a very specific place in Los Angeles.
Well, sure. She thought that, if I do this for him, then he'll take me out for cocktails after I get off work.
I'm married.
That was funny, though. He said, what was the line he said? He goes, I'm married. And then he said, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. That made me laugh.
Just the facts. That was terrible.
It's cheesy, but it made me laugh. I liked it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the way he delivered it. Real quick here, Randy, you said earlier that the movie Hard Rain. No, not Hard Rain. Is it Hard Rain?
Yes, I love Hard Rain.
That's like one of your favorite Die Hard likes. I just wanted
to. And it occurs to me my favorite is probably Sudden Death, but Hard Rain is the one I want to watch.
I just wanted to play a little memory from it. Here you go.
We just want the money.
There you go. That's it.
We just want the money.
Just wanted to do that.
Was that a little bit of a Twisted Sister in there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, I like that. Here's a fun trope, but it's kind of a trope of its own making. Al in his very brief scene while he's talking to him from LA, eating Twinkies again, just eating them Twinkies.
Yeah. Yes.
Boy, a whole table full of Twinkies.
Exactly. Like, and he can't even stop eating the Twinkies to answer the phone. He has to eat a Twinkie while he's going to the fax machine. And
maybe he doesn't show up in any other Die Hards because he died of a diabetic overdose or something like that.
Die hard.
Yeah.
Die hard.
Die hardest.
Diabeticist or something.
He die hardest. Part 3.
Let's see. Yeah, go. Oh, that plane set.
Would have had Live Free or Die Hard take place at his funeral.
The airplane set they used. I used to love these sets because there's no plane that big, dude. That thing was so freaking big. It was like 6 or 8, something like that in the middle. Plush, seats, and then like 4 on the sides. Like, my gosh, dude.
They're not using a flight like that to go from, I'm assuming she was going from LA to
Washington.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
That's an international flight plane.
Yeah, even then. So it just kind of took me out a little bit. I was like, okay, we don't do that. And that flight attendant, drove me up a shit wall. She drove me crazy. The one that kept having little lines here and there. Bad actor. I captured a bunch of audio. We'll deal with it when we get to it. But geez,
that's funny.
She's terrible.
Well, what'd you think about the little lady sidekick?
Oh yeah. Oh, she's horrible. Horrible pet owner. Like, you get a taser, the first thought you have is, I'm going to try it on my dog.
Yeah, she sucks. She sucks.
Horrible.
I loved her. Was she looking at a magazine with Lethal Weapon on the front of it?
Oh, I don't know. Did she? I didn't see.
I caught. Well, if you watched the high definition version of this, you might have seen it.
Look at you and your high definition.
Right. Cheating. But yeah, I found her character the good comedic relief that I needed.
I mean, it's really, she is, hey, we need a taser for Dick later.
Mm-hmm.
How can we get a taser for Dick?
Yeah, I like that. Movies. Okay, let me ask you a question. Which do you prefer narratively? That they sneak in a reference to a thing, make a joke around it, and your brain goes, well, we're going to be using that later. Or do you prefer that she just had one on her purse and they took it out and used it?
Oh, definitely the former. I'd much rather see it and think it's like, oh, that's just funny how this old lady keeps a taser with her, and then have it come back, rather than
it makes you feel smart, and I like that in movies. It made me feel smart. I'm turning my brain off, and you can also make me feel smart at the same time.
Sometimes they just project it, and they project it too much.
There's a little too much of seeing the weapon before it's used later. There's just a little too much.
That's all I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm getting at, yeah.
You see the golf clubs, and then the golf clubs get used. You see the icicle, and then the icicle gets pushed into it.
Boy, howdy did it get used. You know what? Great kill. I'll give this movie the credit for having one of the better kills we've seen in recent film sack history, even over horror movies and stuff. Jam a freaking icicle into a guy's head through his eye, and then break it off in half. Break it off at the stub. Holy shit.
And I just want to say, the prime example for me here is the door on the plane wing that you can just grab and open and empty all the fuel out. It has a sign next to it telling you what it is. And you get a couple of really clear camera shots of that before he actually uses it to empty all the fuel out.
Right.
And I get it. You have to let the audience know what's happening, or they're not going to have any idea, and it's going to feel very forced.
I like it.
But the sign on the door that empties the fuel. It just felt it was too much. It took me.
It takes me out a little bit too. I will say though, him on the plane as they're driving and he realizes he's out there. Django looks out and sees him there. Kind of double takes. I had like a Terror at 30,000 feet kind of vibe.
Oh, sure. Too. Exactly. There's a gremlin on the wing. There's a gremlin on the wing.
Yeah, the idea that the gremlin is Bruce Willis hanging on for his life is just funny.
It made me laugh.
Yeah,
same. I also didn't like the fact that he's kind of like the other side of John McClane, right? The Franco Nero, the what exactly is he? He's a colonel and he's like a president. What is he supposed to be? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He was like it's like Gaddafi. He was
he's the extradited one, and he can do everything. He's like, I can fly the plane, I can fight the people. Why do I even need John Amos and William Sadler? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
We haven't talked about John Amos much, but I'd forgotten about his turncoat role, and I completely forgot. Really? It took me by surprise. I'd forgotten all about it.
Oh, good.
I don't know if it's just because I went into this going, oh, John Amos just passed away. We love that guy. He's been in all these things. What a cool dude. The Coming to America fake McDonald's owner and all this. So I was feeling all these fun feelings for him, and then he's like, oh, and he's a good guy. He's here to show you that the FBI guys in the first movie sucked, but he's not going to be one of those. And then he turncoated, and I went, oh shit, right, gosh dang it.
But that's okay. He got sucked into the engine, so that was cool. By the way, that'd be the end of that flight.
Yeah, they'd be done, dude. Yeah.
Lost. I saw what happened when that guy got sucked in the gin. The whole thing blew up.
Yeah, which is accurate. It would have exploded. This is a movie that doesn't know when to explode things. Right? It's
there's your Christmas magic. John Amos is Christmassy magic.
He's just a little. That was it.
He just turned into snow. He went.
Yeah.
Like Frosty.
Yeah. That made me mad though, because I don't know. He's a good actor, and I really like him. So he's good at this. The turncoat was fine. I just felt bad because he just died, so it made me mad. It's a dumb thing, but I couldn't get my head out of my head.
I distracted myself by being really amazed by some of the really kind of cool stunts they had in this. I love that helicopter landing, like practically landing on the wing of a moving, big old jumbo jet. I thought that was fun. I love the I love the snowmobile scenes and stuff too.
Those are great.
Zipping around. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed all that.
Yeah, all that stuff is good. It's fun. It's just the movie's good at those things, and it's surprising how well that stuff held up.
But the one stunt, like we had talked about, they tried to recreate that big moment, like from the first one when Bruce Willis wraps himself with the fire hose and he jumps. That's the big moment. And this one, of course, they had the eject, and it kind of fell flat, but still memorable, apparently.
Yeah,
because I remembered it. But
there's a whole page on TV tropes about how they got planes wrong, and a bunch of it is like, that's a C-123. It wouldn't have an ejection seat. It's not even it's not even a
where are you gonna go? Right.
This movie was happy to have us not know too much about how stuff
worked. Yeah, that was all fine. That was a really cool shot when they how they shot the opening of the bay doors and stuff, and just how big that plane was. I thought that was a nice.
That was pretty cool moment. Yeah, and even the underground, the water treatment plant shots that were supposed to be under the airport but really weren't. They still really evoked the idea of this complex under everything. Yeah, and I bought into that. What I didn't buy into is the vastness of a police precinct that looked like it lived on its own street. And I don't know, maybe that's true. Do you guys know if this is even a thing? Is there?
I've only like passed through. I've never stopped in there, so I don't know.
I had no idea. If that's the case, do all airports have like a fully staffed sort of police precinct?
Department?
I wouldn't say all, but some of the major ones probably have. I don't know if that.
Yeah, like LAX or JFK or something. Yeah. Or do these places have their own police department? Is it a division?
And if they did, it's probably changed since 9/11 because everything changed. I mean, him smoking, like chain smoking in the airport, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But can't do none of that trash anymore. But yeah,
I think I got the wrong actor for the naked guy on Seinfeld. Hold on a second. Here, I found pictures. See him?
Do I want to look at the pictures?
I think
Yeah, that's a different guy.
I have mixed him up. But what's great about this guy?
Costanzo definitely was on Seinfeld at some point. He is a guy I recognize from being on.
I'm
Seinfeld.
sure of it too.
Could be a cousin for sure.
Oh, he
right?
totally
In
could. Here's the thing, though. Let's see if I can find him in a different way.
I watch it. I watch a spinoff of that for
sure,
Die Hard adjacent.
But what's great about this dude is just because it's connected to us a little bit. I just found out because I was trying to connect these two. This is the voice of Pumbaa from the original Lion King cartoon. Yeah, that's what it says here.
Right.
Yeah, he did Lion King voice. So not the guy in this movie. The guy, naked guy in the train.
Well, the only, no Robert Costanzo in Seinfeld blows my mind because he feels like he would be like a cop. You didn't get this parking space. The other guy got this parking space.
Yeah, I don't know
but
why.
He was Joey Tribbiani's father on Friends. So
I need somebody to make a Lorenzo holiday special spinoff, like some Ewok Christmas.
Yeah,
like him just at the airport putting tickets on cars, kind of thing.
No, him going home with his, all of the family and just hanging out as cops.
Sure.
Talking about what bullshit it was about John McClane and
I love it.
How hard their day was.
He was in Total Recall. Or not Total Recall, sorry. Oh, that is right. Why did I think he was in Oh man, I've really screwed up what I think this guy's in. I really don't. I don't have it right in my head. I thought he was the guy in Hard Target, the porn purveyor guy, but he's not. That guy's in Seinfeld, but
hilarious.
Holy shit. Never mind. I'm going to ruin this.
It's okay. Look, you turned your brain off while you're watching Die Hard 2 and you never turned it back on. So it's fine.
Here's another place I had to turn my brain off. I'm sorry, but a Bic lighter is not enough to start heavy fuel on fire. That fuel only burns at extremely high temperatures. There's no way his lighter lights that and creates
I instantly was like, that's fine.
It looked cool. Don't get me wrong. It actually looked cool.
As shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. You can't do it.
No.
And at first I was like, they're just going to let him run out of fuel, so they just capture him in Idaho or something. But
they gave us a whole full scene of military people screaming in an airplane.
That was pretty great. Except the fire seemed to be coming from both directions. So you had it
right.
The ones in the back were covering their face as it was coming toward their face. The pilots turned around and it was coming toward their back. It should have been coming from everybody's back.
Don't slow that part down. Just enjoy it at the full speed that it is.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, just Die Hard 1 didn't have so much unbelievable physics. That's the problem. It's rather to compare it to that. You had the Amish guy. He got all hung up. You had to shoot him again. Like, what else? That's it. That's your movie. Oh, he blew up a computer with some C4. Scenes? No, is there? How do you get those? Okay. How do you get those, Mr. Complex Method?
Plex.
Bastard.
I told you I cheated.
You did cheat. Were they good?
I have them on Blu-ray. I should just watch them there. Yeah.
I've been thinking about buying the whole series on Blu-ray because I'm like, I haven't watched Die Hard in probably a decade. And especially other stuff. I don't know why.
I've made it's been a long time.
I don't know if I need to take a look, but I don't know if I have a Blu-ray that is all 5 or if they released it after the 4th one or the 3rd one. I need to take a look, but
I'd be curious what the deleted seasons are. What are they, Dunaway? Like just
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh. Well, I mean,
ruin it.
You won't ruin it. Is there an alternate ending or something? Or
are any of the 4 of us going to go back and watch the deleted scenes right after the show today? Probably not.
Everything.
Oh,
it does not. Their plane goes down.
So it's on. If you just go to YouTube, there's the whole.
Dick, aka Richard, aka Dick, saves everybody on the plane and then gives mouth to mouth to John McClane. Don McClane. What the hell's wrong with me?
Nothing's worth. It's not.
All right. So no alternate outcome.
In the cockpit, he starts grabbing grenades and lobbing them back out the windows.
Shit that should have been deleted, basically. I think it's a lot of Marvin stuff in there. I think if I remember correctly, I just kind of scrubbed through it. I was like, I don't see anything.
Well, they cut things for a reason. Randy, you were about to tell.
We need more Marvin the janitor. Come on.
Yeah. Apparently we do get more Marvin the janitor.
Well, who doesn't want more Marvin the janitor, really?
Of course.
At the end of the day. Well, all right. Clips are in order unless anyone else has anything you'd like to say. You want to say anything else before these here clips here?
You could really tell that this was edited to get an R rating. Like the gore is exactly as much gore as you can get past the censors.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything where you went, ooh, I can't believe they got away with that. Maybe the ice pick. Maybe.
Cutting a man's throat.
Yeah.
That was an innocent man's throat at that. He was just there doing his job.
Yeah. You just showed up because the other guy had strep throat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's got strep throat, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what happened to the other guy, too. Bum.
You know what's funny? I just was listening to the song Innocent Man about an hour ago. So
the Billy Joel song?
Yeah.
From a whole later album than the ones so you were like doing a greatest hits.
It's greatest hits playlist from a fan, or I think it's a community playlist. It's really good though.
That's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
They kept out all the crap I hate, so that's good.
Yeah, good. No, for the longest time, no, tell her about it. Yep. No Uptown Girl.
No Uptown Girl. I mean, that's almost my entire thing in life. If I walk into a place, there's music playing, I feel like I should be able to wear a sign that says "No Uptown Girl."
Right.
And then nobody should be allowed to play Uptown Girl.
And scenes from Italian Restaurant twice in the list. It has to be there twice.
Yeah, do it twice or else you're gonna get hit. All right. Well,
I did instantly think about Randy in one part though, because
Naked Tai Chi
was talking about what's that?
I said Naked Tai Chi, but go ahead.
Naked Chai Tea. Yeah, this guy was
Chai
Tea. Naked Chai Tea. Yeah, it burns. So when McClane is all in, he's trying to convince Lorenzo what's going on. He's like, and then he pulled out a Glock 7, and I was like, I took a Glock 7.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
like, nah, I can just wait for Randy.
Yeah. Wrong gun then, Randy. What did he have there?
Right,
You know?
it would have been a Glock 17, and by far the big problem in movies with these things is that they you can't just walk them through security.
That's a porcelain gun. Right, I don't know. I ignored it. I said,
most of a Glock is just metals and hard materials that you can see on X-ray. It's it's fine.
Yeah, you're like our gun guy. You know these models.
Totally. Yeah.
I don't know this shit. You grew up in Texas, you know about all the guns. That's how it works.
There's some good guns in this movie, and Terminator ends up with the coolest look where he's holding two completely different guns and using them at the same time. I thought there were some really fun shots of Robert Patrick.
Oh yeah, no, that stuff was great. He just got so little. I mean, he has one line, and I capped it, and we'll talk about it. But he just didn't get to do much.
Was it? Oh shit.
Nope, it was. It's when he whipped around with a gun and said something. I don't remember what he said. You're gonna die.
Like a sitting duck.
Something like that. Yeah. And then his arm turned into a silver blade, and he grabbed onto
what do we look like a sitting duck, and he spins around.
There you go. Yeah, so you got a good memory of that.
Speaking of the guns, I really did enjoy that they wrapped red tape around the live rounds and blue tape around the blanks. That was, I just like that. It was a nice touch.
Yeah, that stuff was all right. I'll give you points for that. I don't know what that means. I have no points to give. Let's do the clips. We got a handful of them here. Actually, I got a lot. It's Die Hard. They have a lot of one-liners. There's a lot of great stuff. So I'm going to go through them fairly quickly so that we're not here all day. Here is your first one. A thing you never hear at airports anymore.
Where are the telephones?
Right over there.
Thank you very much.
There are no telephone banks.
Whole bank of telephones.
Yeah.
Like a massive telephone area.
Yeah.
A bank of open telephones, and then a bank of closed booth telephones like Superman could change.
Yeah. And I remember this being a thing, kind of, but I never needed to use it as a kid, right? You don't need a phone as a kid. You're just sort of in the airport.
I did, because when I was traveling for work, I didn't have a cell phone, and it was I had a beeper for a while, just like McClane.
Oh well, yeah.
Did you walk around listening to Sir Mix-a-Lot and listening to some beepers, maybe? Did you do that?
That's like later, though, right?
I wasn't selling pot, Brian, if that's what you're implying.
You weren't doing this in 90, though, right? You were like
93. I would have started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like in 90, if you're in an airport, you're not looking for phone banks. You're like me. You're just like, you just turned, what, 19 or 20?
No, not 90, but a couple of years later, they still had the phone banks, and I didn't have a cell phone, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we needed it, we needed it. I just meant, like, in
that specific year, probably not.
Yeah, 90 and prior, I never needed a phone. My parents did all the time, but I didn't. All right, here's, it's the 90s.
Honey, it's the 90s, remember? Microchips, microwaves, faxes, airphones.
Airphones.
Earphones.
Yeah.
Well, that gave people some trouble.
Is she in a warehouse there?
It sure sounds like it, right? It's very echoey and weird.
People were very upset about the airphones and how they just didn't call the airphones. Why didn't the airport just call the phones? It's like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Can't call them.
Nope, doesn't work.
I couldn't get over that there's only one control tower in the world in this movie. Like, there weren't all of these different centers where people were talking on the same frequencies to the different planes.
Yeah.
Just one. There's only one.
Yep.
Ever.
Only one. That's all you're going to get. All right, here's old lady saying a thing. Whoops, why didn't it play?
Isn't technology wonderful?
Yeah, that's how you killed your cat.
Isn't it wonderful?
Here she is again.
I zap any bastard that screws with me.
Pretty sure you're not even allowed, even in 90, you're not allowed to have that on that plane.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Maybe old ladies get away with it.
Maybe old ladies could.
Yeah.
A little too much on the sound effect, in my opinion.
Totally, yeah.
It overwhelmed her. Yeah. Now, this next clip I left uncensored because it's funnier if I leave it uncensored. So apologies to anyone out there offended by the following clip. Whoops.
Colonel Stewart, can we have a few words, please?
You can have two. Fucking you.
There you go. I like that.
There's your R rating.
Yeah.
It's like,
F and
gotta
U.
ramp this up a little bit.
Yep.
It's gonna R up in here.
Yep.
My kid actually left halfway through the movie. He watched the first half of the movie with me. He's 14. It was very R-rated. And at some point he just checked out. It was like, he's too R-rated for me. And he left.
Wow.
Went to his room.
I respect that when a kid just making their own decision. He's not rebelling. He's just like, yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. I don't know if I'd ever done that in an R-rated. I was too worried my friends are going to make fun of me. I guess he didn't have friends there, but you know, I can't
leave now. What if there's boobs?
Right.
I reached the point where I'm kind of working on him making these decisions. So I was glad that he did.
Yeah.
And like, I guess I'm just letting him start anything.
Yeah. Sure.
I guess.
Start it and see what he does. I don't know. I think he showed his mettle there. That's great. Brian, this is what happened when you kept bugging your Brian Ibbett prom date after prom.
Date?
Yeah, this is after prom though. All right.
Okay. All right.
Check it out.
You cannot monopolize my time.
That's what she said to you.
Oh, yeah.
She was really
and what a throwback on the voice quality. Like, really enunciating perfect. And it's like,
no, she's terrible. This is why I brought her up earlier. She's bad in this movie. She's not good.
Please, sir. I know we've been up in the air from LA for about 3 hours now, but now I really need you to go back to coach.
Yep. She was annoyed.
We're 30 minutes from landing, and I need you to go sit down in your assigned seat.
Here is Dennis Franz on a rampage, or as I call it, a Franz page. Here we go.
You're the asshole that just broke 7 FAA and 5 District of Columbia regulations running around my airport with a gun shooting at people. What do you call that shit?
What do you call that shit? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, not later.
Not now, later.
I like that. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Another one.
The lead in your ass or the shit in your brains?
Lead in your ass or shit in your brains.
Well, shit's not going to set off the detector.
No, it is not.
Right.
The metal detector. It's
Is lead? Will lead? I know there's some metals that wouldn't be triggered in a metal detector.
Well, I'm assuming that enough lead in your ass to make you go slow would trigger it, but
probably enough. Yeah, that's
shit
true.
in your brains. That's
actually
not going to.
Good question. Is if it's not magnetic, does it not show up? I don't know.
So it's not just a matter of getting
you've upset Randy.
It's not just a matter of getting your porcelain gun through a metal detector, but it's also a matter of getting all the bullets through the X-ray. And you're not going to get ammo through an X-ray. Like, there's a guy who knows what to look for.
Yeah, they'd have to be like that 3D printed gun that kid used a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Wake up and smell the 90s. Oops, play it.
Wake up and smell the 90s.
That's literally what he said, I guess. Yeah. They were really into that, even though it was 90 that this comes out.
Why are we bringing up the decade so much?
I know.
Are they?
It's barely even the decade. It's not even the decade when they're filming it. It doesn't come out for another year after they start in 89 to film the damn thing. So
they're very excited about the 90s.
I guess. Because she's like faxes and all this shit. Look at wake up, you're in the new day. I'm like, dude, it's 90.
Microwaves, microprocessors, micro machines.
It's like that song by Escape Club, Like it's from the 80s, but they'd say they're living in the 90s.
Oh,
right.
I was wait, Escape Club.
Wild Wild West, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what the band I always think of is from the 80s, but they're definitely not. It's the gay bar song.
Electric Six.
Electric Six sounds like they just pulled right out of the 78 through 83 era.
Funny.
To me.
Wow.
I love that song, though. Gosh dang, it's so good.
That's a great song.
I bring you. Anyway. Here is...
no, don't stop now.
This is something about piss. Anyway.
Listen, you're not pissing in somebody's pool, are you?
Oh, it's Al. It's Al.
No, don't pee in my pool.
I would like to see this script. There's a lot of
show me your work.
There's a lot of non sequiturs in this movie.
Show me your work. I like that. Fred Thompson has entered the chat.
Yeah, that's what I said about my last cholesterol test. So what's your problem, Lieutenant McClane?
Yeah, I'm just here another day, another dollar.
Does that mean he had a hot tag?
Yeah, probably.
I'd rather be anywhere but here. Right
anywhere but here. Oh, poo. Anyway.
Now is he all right?
He's Eeyore all of a sudden. Let's see. Somebody got stunned.
I'm stunned. I gotta lie down.
He's so sarcastic.
Gotta lie down.
I'm stunned. That's a good. I could use that for like when something's not shocking at all. We just play that clip. Here's a fun one from Fred Thompson.
Stack 'em, pack 'em, and rack 'em.
Stack 'em, pack 'em, and rack 'em. There's your threes, Brian. There's your threes again.
Three, baby.
Yep.
Just racking them.
Love it.
Rack them.
Some sweet sarcasm.
All we have to do is find a way to transmit.
Yeah, right. Somebody want to run down to Radio Shack and get a transmitter?
We already have one.
You want to go down to Radio Shack? This is so complex.
No, we got one, but I do need some things.
Yeah. Here's it's what Bruce Willis sounds like in a vent. There you go. Little.
Man, I didn't know he made so many O faces in this movie.
Oh, lots of O faces.
All kinds of ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we captured a few, put them in our chat. Man, if you guys could see our Discord chat at home, if you could just see it.
Great. Yeah.
It really is.
There is a naked fat guy though that
yeah.
I'd like somebody.
There's always a naked fat guy in our Discord.
I hope your poem is like about 40 lines long, Randy, so that gets out of view.
I love that episode though. All right, the T-1000 speaks up.
A sitting duck.
There's his whole line.
There he is.
Sitting duck. Okay, I'm gonna make
my career's over.
I'm gonna make an assertion that I promise this is not like any kind of shame or anything, but as you know, as time passes, let's call it 20. This came out in 90, so 24 years. No, 24 years ago. Time passes, people change, we age,
sure.
Right?
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you, I believe this to be true. Look at just about anybody, and nobody has aged more visually than Robert Patrick. And it really is striking because if you see him in this movie or Terminator or any of those, and then you jump ahead to now, I really like him now. Like I love stuff he's in now. That Perry Mason thing he was in was freaking fantastic. He's great. Nothing wrong with him. But nobody looks more different than they did 20 years ago than that guy does.
He's 66. He was like 63 when he was making the John Cena thing.
Yeah.
And he looks a good 15 years older than he actually is.
Yeah. It's just the way it's the dice he rolled. And I understand that. I'm just saying it's shocking. It's not shocking. It's just like, right. 25 years passed. Oh, right. That's what time is. Because he really shows it. And I like him. Don't get me wrong. This is not shade. I like him a lot.
He's actually really good in Peacemaker, but like he's playing a role that you have to hate.
Yeah, no one's supposed to like him. He's great though. Man, he's a good actor. I like him a lot. All right, I'm glad he didn't quit. Is the point? John McClane. Oh, this is a fun one.
The policeman hero who saved the Nakatomi hostages.
Hey, Colonel, blow me.
Hey, Colonel, blow me.
Blow me.
Colonel, blow me.
Colonel, blow me.
Blow me.
Blow me.
Blow me.
I like that.
I wish his name was really Colonel Blow Me. That'd be great.
Colonel Blow Me would be amazing. It's Colonel Blow Me.
Wait.
He's a hero from Vietnam.
You do need a little bit more of a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Colonel Blow Me.
A little bit.
Colonel Blow Me.
A little bit of a what's the secret to comedy timing?
Yeah. All right, we haven't talked about this yet. This is one of my favorite things in the movie. It is Miles O'Brien, aka Cole Meany, trying to sound British and also saying something that is insane. Well, anyway, I'll play it. Here you go.
Dulles Approach, this is Windsor 114. Where the devil have you been?
All right, now That's part of it, but this is the important part.
I've got 230 people up here flying on petrol fumes.
All right. First of all, not his accent. Second of all, it's not petrol, and anybody would know that. It's jet fuel, and they don't call that petrol over there. So that's a mistake. That's a goof.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's good.
But it's just weird having an Irish guy that you only know from things where he sounds Irish to do an English accent in a very small role. And he died. He's done. He's out.
Oh, he died spectacularly.
Yeah.
He's like,
Great explosion.
Like putting your arms up like, oh, that'll help me. That'll protect me. My arms in front of my face.
I'll give him credit, though. One of the best, best plane explosions I've ever seen. That looked really cool.
It's gone.
Both plane explosions are weird. Like the entire plane was full of gasoline. Like the whole fuselage was just...
They said they were out of fuel.
Yeah, they had plenty. They had enough to do that. Was that old lady's can of... Oh, no, she wasn't on that flight. That's too bad. I don't know, can of what? Oh, I was thinking of her taser. It's not a can of mace. What? Anyway, William Sadler's best scene.
Count of Monte Cristo.
That's Cristo, you dumb shit.
Oh, wrong movie. Sorry, wrong movie. Got the
still a classic. Classic.
That is a classic. And I love that other actor. You dumb shit. All right, Dick.
Dick.
Like a drawl on it. Like Dick.
Little vocal fry at the end. Perfect. The late, great John Amos.
Now, we're here to take Colonel Stewart down, and we will take him down. You see, I served with him. I taught him everything he knows.
Uh-oh, that should have been your first clue.
We'll take him down.
Yeah, McDowell's. Welcome to McDowell's. We got the big mark or whatever they had there.
You see, I served with him. I don't know. There's something about this script. It just bugs me. There's things.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How did that make it to the final cut?
Yeah, it's one thing that I think the first movie has on this one is just better lines. Like it's just something, even out of context, it's worse. If you're not watching the movie and you're just hearing us play these, I think they're a lot worse. You see the movie, you see the intenseness, it like helps. But I think the first movie's better at lines.
Yeah. I think movies have convinced us that people yell at each other all the time. Like everything they ever say is yelling. And I just want, like, I realize that Christopher Nolan went the other way and everybody's mumbling all the time. And you're like, wait, I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
which way is it?
Understanding is not a good enough reason for all the yelling. I just, it's like what, can people sometimes just talk?
Yeah.
You know, I just want a little talk.
In Batman, he had Christian Bale go, hey, what's going on, everybody? Actually hurt. My throat's still messed up. The janitor, everyone.
What the hell are you so excited about that for?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
I still love a janitor that has the blueprints to everything in the airport. That's such a fun.
Yeah.
Lives underground, essentially. There's no way to actually get to where he's at unless you take a tunnel.
Yeah, we don't know where his paychecks are coming from. People don't ever come check on him. Yeah, it's a fun trope, but it's so fake.
It's a fun trope.
Django speaks.
Captain, please tell the tower you will proceed as ordered.
I don't sound Italian at all, even though I am.
What is this? This voice is like it feels like it's from the Lord of the Rings or something.
It's almost
paging Mr. Herman. I mean, he's Italian. I think he's Italian as hell, that guy, right? I think, because that's why he's in that famous spaghetti Western.
Yeah.
Can't find him. Frank Nero's his name, and he is from an Italian actor. So I think
he's Italian.
So
Look at that.
I think we were hearing his very Italian accent. He's still doing shit. He was in John Wick Chapter 2. He was in let's see, the
he didn't die in that explosion?
No, he lived on. He's in the Django TV series, which I didn't know they were doing.
He's in the first Django, which we sacked.
I read on Airlight from about an hour ago. Yeah, I talked all about that.
And then
Scott was mumbling when
he's in another Django.
Yeah, the new Django. He was a guest star in that, which I also mentioned about 45 minutes ago.
And then also,
Scott's mumbled a lot this.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, that one that we talked about. Just like the Aliens music, this little bit remind me of that part where they're waiting for the planet to blow, or not the planet, but the it is the planet to blow up, or the whatever it is, what is it that they blew up? The facility or whatever.
The facility.
In Aliens. Yeah. So they had so in Aliens,
be sure.
Yeah, the platform is facility, whatever it was. When Bishop finally comes back and gets them, and they fly out of there, and then they have this crazy music build up, and then tons of people have used it since. These guys did, at least similarly. Here it is. It's the exact same freaking thing.
Yeah. I love that, though. That's here it comes. Dun, dun, dun,
I like it, too. I would use it if I were those people. 100%. Let's see. What's this? Not yet, Bruce Willis.
Not yet.
Not yet. Man, I have a lot of these. All right, here's another one. That's him that's him when he sees the grenade. Like that. That's the grenade.
Oh, yeah. The first of
Which
9
one?
grenades.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what the Pope says when he's outnumbered by non-believers.
Fall back to the church now.
Fall back to the church. Get in there. When your kids eat all their Halloween candy too fast.
See if you can get any TV. That'll settle them down.
Yeah, that's what parents do.
Why was it the maddest at that part? There was so much shit that I was like, all right. But for some reason, when I was like, hey, we're outside, we can pick up the TV signals. Let's turn the TV on. What you want to watch? The Simpsons.
I know.
Great plan. We're in the middle of we're in the middle of a blizzard and trying to land. What should we watch?
Yeah. That was weird.
So it's purely there just distract the passengers, basically.
By that point, I was totally bought in. Like, I had given over to the tech of the movie and the magic of it all. And they're like, they're going to show a bunch of people on a plane some live television. Sure, I'm fine. That's great.
Let's do it.
Let it be what's going to be. Here's a moron reference.
Moron.
Just moron. That's your
I don't
stewardess
think she likes
lady.
him.
No.
Flight attendant, right?
Yeah, she just had these weird one-liners that always came off as ADR and poorly said, and I don't know what the deal is with her.
Why? I don't know why some things bothered me, but like I was like, can you be on the same plane together if they've got a restraining order? Because is there how many yards? How many feet they say?
150
How
yards
long is the plane?
Puts her outside the plane.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
she would have to not be
That's
on
what I
the
was
plane.
thinking. I was like,
There's no plane big enough for that restraining order. How do you deal? Actually, from a legal standpoint, I'd be curious. How do you deal with it if somebody's on a plane?
Once you're on there, I guess
Nothing
just
you could
shit
do.
out of luck.
You basically have to,
You just, for that day or for that 2-hour flight, you now have a shorter distance to deal with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
It's probably legally okay. All right.
Because you don't know. Yeah.
Here's this is when you're not sure how many kinds of donuts a place has. This is what that is.
Well, maybe if we knew how many they had to start with, we could get excited.
All right. Easy there, Chief. Literally, Chief.
I think that's a keeper.
Yeah, that one's a keeper. I like it. How about Angry John Amos?
Well, maybe they're just a little bit more creative than you think.
Man, there's a lot of clips because he hasn't even turn-coded yet. Sorry.
That's not angry. That's every episode of Good Times.
That's true. Oh, yeah, it's a Good Times dad. That's right.
If you said that was from Good Times, I would believe you.
Yeah. Well,
he's talking to JJ.
I mean, to this day, I talk to JJ in my sleep.
Yeah.
Well, it's dynamite.
Now, this one, you have to listen really carefully to it because I think there's a little hidden thing in here. So listen to this.
Okay. At least they can pull over for food and gas.
Could you heard what I heard, right? You could hear that?
I didn't even catch that the first time I watched that. Wow.
I think she cracked one off right there in her seat.
I always need to sit right by that lady on a plane, apparently.
All right. Let's see. What's this?
Hey, you can't talk to me like that.
Freaking Fred.
Hey, what could he?
He's such a clip magnet. Everything he said was fun.
Yeah.
Here he is again. Shit, he says.
Shit.
Here's some truth drop.
The truth is far from normal. The truth is terrifying.
That's some great writing. Huh. The truth is far from normal, Randy. The truth is terrifying.
Okay.
Yep. Write that down. Keep that close. Keep it close.
Put it.
Did you tell him, Fred Thompson?
That stupid, arrogant son of a bitch.
I'm running for president. Check me on Law and Order this season. All right. Does not sound like Bruce Willis.
Hey, Coleman!
Doesn't sound like him.
Hey!
Listen to that again.
Hey, Coleman!
It doesn't sound right.
Oh, I think it does. Sounds like Moonlighting era Bruce Willis.
But it also sounds just a little bit like Welcome Back, Kotter.
Let me try it again.
Hey, Coleman!
Hey, Mr. Kotter!
A little bit like Happy Days, maybe.
Just threw me. All right, 2 more. Here's something about a baby.
Jesus Please, you give me the story and I'll have your baby.
Oh, jeez. Easy, bird lady.
Maybe that's why you're not a successful reporter.
Yep. Now, you'll never guess who gets the final word of the film. It isn't Bruce Willis. It's not Bonnie Bedelia. It's not even their driver, Harvey or Marvin or whatever his name is. It's this guy.
It's Christmas!
The final word spoken.
The guy who wrote the ticket and is now tearing it up. Can you just tear up a ticket?
Well, this is Franz.
His brother wrote the ticket.
Yeah, this is Franz.
It's Christmas!
Yeah, he's giving because he tore it up, and he's like, "Sweet."
Are you gonna go get my mother-in-law's car from the impound lot? Because
yeah,
I don't think
the spinoff.
I don't think the golf cart is going to take me there.
Oh my gosh, Dunaway. Can you imagine a spinoff with the brother cops? That'd be great.
I want it.
That would be great. I would watch it. Are you kidding?
The whole Christmas show that Brian was envisioning earlier.
Yeah,
it is. I did write down. It's funny that when he finally gets on the phone with his wife, who's on a plane, he's just like, you know what? You know how we have kids? I don't really like them. I don't really want to have.
Let's say we can leave and do it somewhere.
They have kids though in the first movie, right?
Yeah, they have kids here too. Yeah,
I don't remember.
They're just off screen and never spoken of.
So we
again.
never see them.
The only time they're referred to is let's leave the kids with your parents and go to a hotel and do it.
Oh yeah, okay. But in the first movie, there was a phone call, and then the kid at home on the phone, right? Or am I thinking of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Movie.
All right.
The first movie has the kids on the phone, like being interviewed by Dick.
Excellent. Here's our checklist. The FilmSack checklist goes like this. Still hard to die? Check. William Sadler is a national treasure? Check. And finally, Carmine Lorenzo is an amazing name. Check. I love that name.
Great name.
Carmine Lorenzo. Also, it's a fun name to say sarcastically. Can't talk. So when Bruce Willis. Where's the reset button? Do I have to hold it down or just press it? Anyway, he kept going, all right, Carmine. He would just drag his name through the dirt. Amazing stuff. Man, love it. I had a real snap there for a second. All right.
That's fine. Like I said, you turned your brain off there for the movie and you forgot to turn it back on.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's get to the Star Trek connections. I mean, we've already talked about one of them, but I'll bet there's more.
There's way too many. This movie has so many. It's like a Star Trek farm team. So I'm just going to give you my selections. No, number one, I just have to mention the Next Generation episode Starship Mine, which is Die Hard on the Enterprise. I always have to bring that up because it's my favorite episode. Yeah. Patrick Stewart is Captain Jean-Luc McClane, and he's alone on the ship with terrorists. I love Starship Mine. Okay. William Sadler, right? Yep. He was Stewart in this movie, and he was Sloan on Deep Space Nine. Sloan, this shadowy string puller. We don't know if he's actually the head of a covert op or he's just a lone wolf who's making claims. Kind of the same character, though. He plays in this movie. In Deep Space Nine, he has the same performance as he does in this movie.
Okay, interesting.
And I just want to stop and say, can you believe that Robert Patrick, John Leguizamo, and William Atherton were never in Star Trek? That just blows my mind. I looked so hard on those three people.
Atherton
I just knew.
Totally blows my mind. Especially like Atherton and Robert Patrick. Feels like they'd fit right in.
Right. So like you said, Colm Meaney is our Irish pilot doing an English accent. What the fuck? He was Miles O'Brien in 225 appearances on TNG, Deep Space Nine, and other shows. That makes him second only to Michael Dorn, by the way. My big highlight for this week, I just want to name Stuart Baird. He was already known in Hollywood as a great editor by the time he had done this. Like, he had edited The Omen and Superman and Lethal Weapon, but he went on to successfully direct 3 movies, Executive Decision, U.S. Marshals, and a little film called Star Trek Nemesis.
Ooh, I like Nemesis. Big Nemesis fan. You won't hear me bitch about that movie. I like it.
You are one of the few.
I know.
Nah.
I realized it came out the weekend of one of the Lord of the Rings movies, maybe the first one, and it just had no chance. But, you know, it's the first time we get to see Tom Hardy do anything. Freaking, what's his name? Hellboy is all dressed up like an alien that can read your mind. That stuff was great. I enjoyed it. It's also the only time Wesley would show up in one of those movies. So, It was very short, though. He didn't say anything. There's a picture of Sadler, by the way, in that DS9 episode. Pretty cool looking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's just perfect. You just really don't know what he is or who he is or where he's working from. Like he's perfect for it.
Yeah, he's great. He's always good. Okay, let's move on down the line here to the Star Trek grade or soundtrack grade.
Grade.
I'd give it a
C.
I'd say SAB for same as before, and that's okay. It's pretty much the soundtrack from the first one, or at least as competent. I don't know that it's necessarily exactly the same, but evocative of similar themes. It's fine.
Good old Michael Kamen, and rest in peace, man. He died young. He did some really great stuff. He did, he just scored Lethal Weapon. He scored that first X-Men. I really like that score.
Yeah.
Michael Kamen just, passed away in 2003 before we found out just how far he would go.
Dang. I don't like that at all. Take that, whatever it was, cancer. Or
I'll give you the Michael Kamen score that I think you and I, Scott, share, and that's Open Range.
Oh, it's so good. And that was that year, the year he passed. Oh man,
yeah,
bummer, dude. Open Range, so good. Partly because of his music. All right, let's move down the line to the social media post. As you guys know, this is where we sum things up in 280 characters or less, and by us, I mean you. And this time, we're going to start with Randy.
I don't remember writing this. Die Hard 2. I'm fresh out of chlorine, so yeah, what then? Lesson 1 starts with killing policemen. How about you blow me? Wear lip balm. What's lesson 2? The neutron bomb? I'll open the handy fuel dump on this sucker and say, yippee-ki-yay, Merry Christmas.
Nice.
Merry Christmas.
Mr. Falcon, exactly. Well done, as always. Brian Dunaway, it's your turn.
Die Hard 2. Just once, I'd like a regular, normal Christmas movie. Eggnog, an effing Christmas tree, a little turkey. But no, I gotta crawl around this mother effing movie. Hashtag wake up and smell the 90s.
Oh, I like it. Finally, Brian Ibbett.
8 letters and a hyphen. Die Hard 2. Icicle.
Icicle. That's fan-freaking-tastic.
Nicely done. It's a really good kill. I think one of the best we've seen.
That's the kill you can feel.
Yeah,
right there out of all of them.
It's the kill that just keeps on killing, is what it does.
It's the kill that keeps on dying hard.
That was really good. All right, we are now to the point of the show that we cannot back up from, and it's this alternate title. Yes, that's right. This was almost called "Throw Dick from the Plane." That didn't happen though, and they almost chose planes, McClanes, and snowmobiles, but
very good.
It was a little too close to another film.
Nicely done.
Filmsack@gmail.com is where we get a lot of emails, and we got one here from Richard from Nashville who says, "Hey guys, happy holidays. I know you guys like a heist movie. Please consider covering Den of Thieves from 2018. I'm extremely curious as to how Randy's, quote, 3 simple rules, unquote, to pull off the perfect bank robbery would play out. Take care, Richard from Nashville." I've been curious about this since I saw the trailer for 2, and then when I saw that, I was at Gladiator, I think, Gladiator 2, and I saw the trailer for the second one of these Den of Thieves coming soon, and I went, wait, there's a first one? So it was news to me. I didn't even know they did it, but I really like Gerard Butler. I like all those guys. Like, why don't we do Den of Thieves? Let's get it in the list.
Let's do it.
I think we should do it.
Let's do
Why
it.
don't you tell me what you want to do?
What do you want to do?
Directed by Christian Gudagast.
Yeah,
I do not know this person.
Gudagast.
Christian Gudagast apparently directed London Has Fallen, which we haven't sacked.
No,
Sack that one?
No, we
All right.
did London and the third one, which was the really good one.
Oh, we sacked MI5. We didn't sack London Has Fallen.
Right, but we did Olympus Has Fallen and then the third Fallen one, right? Hold on, something has fallen.
Angel Has Fallen. We
Angel.
sacked Angel Has
Angel's
Fallen.
fallen.
Oh, I said angle in here. That's why it didn't come out.
Angle is falling. The angle has falling to obtuse.
It's an acute angle.
Yeah, it's a geometry movie. Fantastic. All right, couple quick texts at 801-471-0462. Glitch wrote in and says, "How are Fig Newtons vegan if figs are only figs due to wasps dying in the fruit?" I mean, it's a good point. Is that the only way you get a fig? I thought it was just a happenstance that wasps would die in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like saying that ketchup is only ketchup because there are flies in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this glitch.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Just want you to know most figs that you eat they're grown without wasps.
Okay, but how does the okay, but the wasp thing isn't required, right? It can happen.
Correct.
Okay.
It's not. It's just a pollinator that sometimes occasionally dies in a wild fig.
Because it's in there pollinating, it gets stuck and dies.
Yeah.
But it's not that the fig is no longer going to exist if the bee didn't die in there, or the wasp, right?
No. It's
Okay.
not required. It's not like the wasp makes the fig.
Right. According to this, figs can contain wasps, specifically fig wasps, which are essential to their pollination. However, any wasp that enters a fig typically dies and is broken down by the fig's enzymes, making it safe to eat without any noticeable traces of the wasp. But it's important to note figs can contain wasps, not do every time.
Yeah. No. May contain wasps. Should be right there on the front of the package.
Yeah, they should, and it should be a giant smiling bee logo, like a bee character. Like the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, like that. You might find me in here.
I'm just saying, you do not want to go very deep on the tiny microscopic insects that are in your fruits. Just don't look it up. You don't want to know.
I don't want to have. I have zero desire to know any of that.
Yeah.
One final note from an anonymous listener who says, just listen to the Halloween Roundtable late. It says, may I recommend Hell House LLC, combination found footage and documentary style, they say.
Okay.
Hell
House. So it is it's like a corporation,
like
LLC.
a limited liability corporation. Let's see, 2015, starring Gore Adams. That's funny, or Abrams. Sorry, Alice Benkaik and Danny Bellini. I've never heard of any of these guys. Directed by Stephen Cognetti, also written by him. It's reviewed fair to middling, 6.4 out of 10. 5 years after an unexplained malfunction causes the death of 15 tour goers and the staff at the opening night of the Halloween Haunted House store, a documentary crew travels back to the scene of that tragedy to find out what really happened, and you probably can guess from there what they find out. It's haunted or whatever. I mean, sure, why not? Yeah. We haven't done a found footage thing since. Did we even do Blair Witch, or did we? I don't remember if we did.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think we did.
We may have never done a found footage movie. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we have.
Kroll.
I just don't remember which one it is.
We didn't do Cloverfield? Okay.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We should.
Wow.
We should.
God, I thought we had, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't done any of the VCR movies or VHS movies. VCR.
VCR.
Why aren't those called VCRs? I hear the new one, the VHS, the sci-fi one that just came out last year, is supposed to be awesome. Or maybe this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have never seen any of those. I hear they're really good.
Yeah, I liked the ones I saw. I guess I saw the 2010 original or something.
The VHS or VHS 2, yeah. Huh.
But, and there's another one in, let's see, hold on. I'm trying to see if we can. VHS. Okay, so VHS. No, that's not the one. I can't find it. Anyway, the VHS ones are good. So if we had to pick something out of there, that'd be fine. But this seems all right. Hell House LLC. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I hope they're paying their taxes.
Yeah.
That's it for our feedback.
I love that there's 4 Hell House LLC movies already.
I'm sorry.
That makes me really happy.
There are really 4 of them?
Yeah. So the second one is called the Abaddon Hotel.
Oh my God.
The third one is called Lake of Fire. And then the newest one, which just came out, is Hell House LLC Origins, the Carmichael Manor.
That just came out last year. I mean, they're all reviewed okay. I mean, I'll admit I like a good found footage thing. The problem is most of them are kind of not good.
Yeah, they have to really sell you on why the person is filming what they're filming.
Yeah, yeah. And if
like Paranormal Activity, it's just cameras set up everywhere.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good example of it. You need to be aware of how this sort of stuff would have been filmed, and don't cheat. You know, and if you can do that, then I'm in. There's this one about a lady who has Alzheimer's, and they're filming her final days, but they were wrong about what's wrong. She's possessed and becoming more possessed as time goes on. I forgot the name of it. Something, the filming of Wanda Wilson or some name like that. And it's really good. And it's because the film crew is just there to, they're trying to understand Alzheimer's, and they're trying to understand how end of life, all this stuff. And it turns out she's not. She's like totally possessed, and she can like swallow you whole and all this stuff.
No.
It's really cool. It's actually a really good movie. I liked it.
Really? Okay.
I cannot remember the name though. It's nothing like what I said, but I'll try to find it for next week. Anyway, that's that. Hey, thanks everybody for writing in. 801-471-0462 or filmsack@gmail.com. And if you use that phone number I gave you, you can also leave a voicemail. We'd be happy to play them here on the show. You can also join us on Patreon, patreon.com/filmsack, where you'll get no commercials ever. Pre-show content every day or week. We don't do it every day, every week. A monthly special host episodes. They're going to get 2 this month because I'm late and Brian's on time. So you'll get 2.
Yep. I still haven't gotten my recorded, so I'm not on time until I get it done in the next 15 days.
That's right. He's got time. I'm overtime. But one way or the other, you're going to get a lot.
My week off at TMS is definitely going to include that if I haven't done it by then.
That might be when I do my catch-up as well.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, that'll be great, though. Think of the Christmas gift it is from us to you to get 2 of these host specials in 1 month. Fantastic. Just forget you didn't get one in November. Pretend that didn't happen. You're just getting 2 now. Anyway, you get those. You get movie-related art prints from me in the mail and other great benefits that you can read all about at patreon.com/filmsack. And a big thanks to Aaron McCullough, our brand new supporter over there.
Yay, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you, Aaron. Next week, we're watching Reindeer Games on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, right before Christmas. Just in time for Christmas.
Yep.
Love it.
I've never seen it.
I remember liking that film.
Never seen it.
All right. I remember liking tune in next week. With
Die Hard in a semi. Die Hard in a cross-country trip.
Cool.
Ben Affleck.
That sounds great.
Gary Sinise, Charlize Theron.
Are Dunaway and I the only ones that have seen this?
I never have. Randy, have you seen it?
I have never seen it because I've always been on Rudolph's side, and I can't stand how they treated him.
Yeah, this really shows you the other perspective. Yeah.
Got Isaac Hayes.
Charlize nudity.
Oh. Okay. Also Ron Jeremy.
Always thought she had a no nudity Mrs. Claus, but apparently she.
How do you have Ron Jeremy, Danny Trejo, and Dennis Farina in the same movie? That's insane.
Ron Jeremy?
Yeah, the Ron Jeremy. He's credited as Ron Hyatt. He's in there as Ron Hyatt, but it's Ron Jeremy playing the character Prisoner Number 1. So it's probably a small role.
Oh, great.
Prisoner Number 1.
There are no small roles for Ron Jeremy.
Only small members.
After watching William Sadler's first scene in this movie, maybe 5-7 times, I rewatched it a little bit. I'm ready for some different nudity.
Yeah, well, you won't see Ron Jeremy doing any naked Tai Chi in a hotel room.
Sweet. You know what? You've just guaranteed I'm watching it. Thank you for that.
Okay, 10 times. I watched the scene 10 times.
Okay.
Wow.
Just the 10 times.
Fair enough.
Okay. But just the tip of the scene.
Just the tip. One of everyone's favorite actors in the world, at least mine, Dennis Farine is how you say his name? James Frayne is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, James Frayne. Oh, yeah, he's got a cool look to him.
I love him, dude. So
secret
good.
Bad guy look.
Yep. Everything he's ever in. He's Sarek in Discovery. He's in Tron as like the second in command weirdo with the mask. He's in things like, what was that show? The Tudors. Remember the Tudors? He was great in that.
Never saw that. But,
it's so good.
Orphan Black.
What We Do in the Shadows. He was in one episode.
Yeah. No MCU appearance yet, but boy, it's a matter of time for him. I think
sure feels like it. He's great.
He's got a good look for a supervillain, for an MCU supervillain.
True detective. He's awesome. British guy. Anyway, all that and more next week when we watch Reindeer Games, currently on Paramount Plus, including Charlize Theron nudity.
But no Affleck nudity. Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh.
But is he in the scene where the nudity happens? Do you know?
He is. They're in a swimming pool, if I remember correctly.
Oh, all right. So they're hiding his bajingjing.
He's underwater, or he might even have trunks on. And,
all right.
Yeah.
But they're a little misshapen at the moment, if you know what I'm saying.
Mama.
Anyway.
Old Jerry.
Filmsack.com is the website to go to for all other things. That will do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
You pinko bitch.
We'll see you next time.
Oh, looks like someone just got their ears caught in the audio cookie jar at frogpants.com.
I'm stunned. I gotta lie down.
Hello, this is Jeannie Soros, and this is for Film Sack regarding your brief discussion about Carrie from, I can't think of her last name, Carrie Fisher, and her accent in Star Wars. And I had seen an interview with her years ago where she talked about it briefly. She had been living in London for a while at the time, and I get the feeling she's a bit of a mimic. In that scene with Grand Moff Tarkin, which is the one that everybody refers to a lot, everybody in that scene with her is English. And then when the scene you played where she's talking about following Chewie and calling him a walking carpet, she's in a scene with Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford with very distinct American accents. So I think that she didn't realize she was mimicking the accent she was around at the time.
Hey, Film Sack crew, this is Dylan calling about subtitles. I was listening to your most recent episode about Robin Hood, the 2010 masterpiece from Ridley Scott. You're talking about Netflix messing up the kind of baked-in subtitles. Wanted to bring up, I was watching John Wick on Peacock, I want to say it was, last year. I was showing the movie to my brother for the first time, and Peacock, for whatever reason, removed all of the stylized comic book style subtitles that are really cool in John Wick whenever they're speaking Russian. They were just gone from the movie, and I felt like I was being gaslit or something, and trying to explain to my brother, no, you're supposed to be seeing what they're talking about. You're supposed to be seeing how cool it looks, and it really kind of, I won't say it ruined the movie, but it took a lot out of it, and he thought I was crazy, and I had to kind of Google pictures and show him what they're supposed to look like. Anyway, I don't know why these streaming services have to mess with the movie so much, but just wanted to bring up that example. Love the show, guys.
Film Sack. Bunnies, man. We got bunnies. That's Night of the Lepus. It's on Plex, since you guys seem to be having trouble with deciding or remembering what was on your next slate for Halloween. So you're welcome. Oh yeah, how do you do a round table on Halloween movies and you never mention Trick or Treat? In my opinion, that's probably the most Halloween of all Halloween films, just right above Nightmare Before Christmas, which I'm not too sure if you've mentioned that one either. So, you might get the oogie boogie after your noogies on that one, man. Keep your sacks tight and be safe.
Hey, this message is for Film Scrote, my scroters. Loving the Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode, although the TNG at the end throws me, but I get it. That's what they call it. Just around the discussion about neck breaking, the one that immediately came to mind for me was Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October when he begins his I don't know what you call it, face turn, coming to the American side, trying to turn the sub over. He pushes the second in command in the ship's neck up on the table and just slams it. Between the fact that it's Sean Connery and, you know, he had the untimely interview about slapping women, which isn't cool, but he's still Sean freaking Connery. We love him. And just the brutality of it, the scene always really held with me. So just wanted to throw that in there. Love the show. Love the Patreon support, the extra episodes. You guys are fantastic. This show really gets me through the week. So love the show. Thanks, guys. Bye.